some kind of fame.
Hello everyone, nope, we're not doing that today. We are doing another new daycare attendant. Chapter 9, let's get to it. Aiden. I was planning on revealing him in the next chapter, but considering it's mostly gonna be Equinox just monologuing in his head the entire time, you have to have him a chapter early, since y'all have been waiting for this since the beginning. There's gonna be some time skip starting about, I'll say now, and a couple chapters after this, because I don't know what to fill this with. I'm out of ideas. Request list so far, chapter 12, 13, maybe 14, haven't decided 14, chapter 14, still seeing if this would make sense connecting the chapters together and make it flow with the story somehow. Sorry, no art this week, I'm slowly losing my sanity trying to do this week's animation for YouTube. Chapter 9, he's back. Leaves crunched under his foot loudly as he stumbled across the narrow path, brushing the leaves in the way, leading him to a familiar, empty, abandoned park that had a small playground to it. Equinox stepped out into the open field tiredly as the cold night wind blew against his rays. He had spent the past week using his free time running around the world, searching for the leftover backups that Moon hadn't destroyed. However, it took him a while to install a teleporter into a system, even more since he had to go through all of his hiding spots, trying to find his students' backups, only to find most of them are gone. 469 out of 753. 446 of them were not even there anymore since Moon demolished them, leaving only small fragments left out in the open when he found them. He would say finding around 400 of them was an impressive accomplishment, considering it's only been a week. But now he's undeniably tired as hell. Running himself ragged was not what he was planning to do. Finally reaching the playground, he plopped down at the bottom of the slide before leaning down and staring at the plastic ceiling, discovering yet another backup taped up there. The thought ran across his mind why he bothered with making this many backups as he ripped it off before piercing through it with his claws. 470, 283 left to go. 283 left? That's a surprise, yeah. He's taking a break. Maybe a nap would help. He thought, glancing at the soft orange light that was emitted from his eyes one last time, before closing them, shutting off for the time being. Loud alarms blared in his head, causing him to instantly jolt up, bashing his head on the slide as he bit back a hiss, bringing his hand to his head, grunting in annoyance, having rudely been woken up. What the hell is that sound? The ringing in his head continued as he got up, now standing as he looked around for the source, only to find the open, vast meadow with nothing in sight, besides multiple trees surrounding the area. He brought a hand up to his face, removing the sleep out of his system before noticing someone calling him. The sound was coming from him the entire time. Son? He stared at the number, it stopped, and the number disappeared, along with the noise. But it started back up again. It seems Son is desperately trying to call him. Grumbling, he answered the call. Son's voice blasts through the speaker, but gets cut off immediately. How'd you get my number? Your number? Oh, one of the PNS workers left us a sticky note with the number on it when you first came to daycare. That little... What do you want? He muffled the first section of what he said, then sighed on the feet. Well, I was planning on telling you something a week ago, but I forgot it was until they just came today. They? Yep. Come to the daycare. The daycare is open in a couple of hours. See ya. And with that, the call ended abruptly, leaving only Science's crippled chirped in the morning light. Damn it! His foot gently pressed down onto the floor as he gained balance after teleporting back somewhere near the daycare. Equinox found himself in one of the party rooms as he opened the door, peeking his head out, glancing at his surroundings. Confirming nobody saw him, he leaves and heads to the daycare. Footsteps echoed as he walks on the tiled flooring. questioning what Sun wanted to even show him. That was so important that needed him back so soon. Questions flooded in his mind as he arrived at the giant doors, hearing loud chatter radiating out of daycare. It seemed as though there were more people in there than originally. Was this what Sun was talking about? The moment he stepped his foot onto the padded floor, he was immediately greeted by footsteps running up to him. Equinox, took you long enough to get here. There's someone I want you to meet. Come on. Sun grabbed his wrist forcefully, dragging his ass over to where the rest were. Getting dragged by a 7 feet tall robot was embarrassing, including his 1 feet taller than him. Oh, I felt so bad for him. So he's 8 feet tall? Huh. As the Sun dragged him over to the group, Equinox ripped his hat. Oops, sorry. Sorry, I was too busy watching the animal. As the Sun dragged him over to the group, Equinox ripped his hand out of the other's grasp, glaring at him. Annoyed that Sun had already become nonchalant with him in such a short period of time. Alright guys, he's here, finally. Who is Equinox stopped mid-sentence as his eyes turned over to a small figure standing in front of Earthman with his back turned. Lunar? Huh? What? The new voice startled the small bot as he turned around where the voice came from. Only the freeze out going wide-eyed at him, looking extremely horrified. Oh god, I can't say that. Leave me alone.
Go! The demon is gone!
Leave me alone. Are you talking about... Hold on. Are you talking about Sandy? Oh, no. Yeah, we had to get rid of our dog, by the way. One of our cousins wanted it. Oh, no, never mind. She's still here. Who the f was my mom talking about? Lunar. Sorry. Lunar. Earth kneeled down to Lunar, looking at him with concern in his eyes as the figure in question was breathing heavily, gasping for air, looking around as if he was ready to bolt out of there. Lunar, look at me. Take deep breaths in and out. He's not here. Eclipse is not here. It's just Equinox. The smaller animatronic gradually calmed down as he followed her instructions, taking deep intakes of air. Although you could hear coughing as the bot clutched onto her for support. The other two Celestials walked up to them, giving them support as Equinox stood there, not sure if he should just leave or what. Equinox, can you leave for a moment? We'll call you back in when he's alright. Sun turns toward him as he said that. Didn't exactly need to tell him twice since he already left by the time Sun asked. After a while, 15 minutes at most, he got called that everything was alright. Walking back in, awkward at the tension in the room, got turned up a notch and he sees Lunar standing in the middle, waiting for him. After halting in front of them, he could finally see his brother after many months. Not exactly since he was clocked out. What was that? Nope. He got called that everything was alright. Walking back in felt awkward as the tension of the room got turned up to notch and ceased. Okay, I already read that part. Oopsie. After holding in front of them, he can finally see his brother after many months. Not exactly since he was clocked out for an extremely long time. He could see his little brother change drastically. New appearance and definitely trauma mixed into it as well. Regret grew in his chest as he remembered that it was technically him that blew his sibling into smithereens. Not much he could do since he wasn't even here at the time. Oh wait, this is not President Lunar. I have no idea what to call him anymore. Oh wait, Lunar. I forgot he changed his name. Regret grew in his chest as he remembered that it was technically him that. Ooh, I already read that part. Not much he could do since he wasn't even there at the time. Lunar stood his ground, staring up at Equinox. He brought a fist up to his mouth, clearing his throat as if getting ready to introduce himself. I'm Lunar. The smaller bot shouted a loudly, bringing his hands up in the air, causing Equinox to jolt away from him in surprise.
I'm going to take maybe yours.
Okay. Can you buy me a drink? Okay. Bring his hands up in the air, causing Equinox to jolt away from him in surprise, having not expecting that, and almost gave the poor animatronic a heart attack. Oh no, wasn't done. Don't ever do that again, he muttered as a hand was brought to his chest, trying to calm his racing heart as he bent down. Okay, now. It's sad that I have to. Sorry about that. I had to pause it. I don't know why I did not stop the recording, actually. I didn't stop the recording this time. What is going on this time? Anyways, A-N. Angst at the start because I'm not having a good week at the time of typing this. So I'm sort of venting in this chapter as well. The chapter is also slightly more serious since I'm not in the mood to type. But I still need to get this done. Sorry if the writing is a bit weirder than usual or repeating words. But no worries, I am good. Write this like 2 weeks ago. Oh, okay. Well, hope you're doing good this week. Chapter is also based on a writing I did like a month before I started typing this, FF of Equinox. So there's some reference in the one-shots. Okay. I don't even know what the one-shots are. I'm sorry, I haven't read the one-shots. Chapter 10, just me and you now. Equinox picked up one of the glitter glue bottles that had laid on the floor, discovered it, and examined it, making sure there weren't any leaks that would contaminate anything touching it. There hadn't been much that he needed to do since Lunar came back. Most of the kids flocked to either Sun or Lunar, since they knew who they were, so he ended up doing most of the cleaning while they were taking care of the kids. Each side placing the bottle on one of those plastic tables. He's completely fine with not dealing with kids, but ever since Luna came back, he felt ignored. Sun and Moon have been hanging out with Lunar, which makes complete sense. They were probably bonding over the time his brother was kind of dead. Even Earth was talking to him. Well, more like Lunar went and talked to her. But not once did he bother trying to talk to him or even acknowledge his existence. Not that he was thinking about it, it's more likely because he reminds you of the person that gave him trauma. Although when Equinox is listening them talk happily to each other from across the room, he knows that he doesn't have an actual heart, but his heart swells, feeling like he's getting sliced in half slowly with a burning knife. He hadn't imagined loneliness would affect him deeply like this, but it's probably the lingering fear of isolation again, if he was abandoning. Being stuck in that damn forest had definitely messed him up mentally. If he seeks comfort in being around people and he genuinely hates it. Picking up air that was knocked down, he hears loud chatter waltz into the daycare. He didn't even need to turn around to know who the group was until bells rang behind him and a tap on his shoulder gets him. Hey, sorry to spring this on to you unexpected, but do you think you can handle the daycare for a day or two by yourself? Equinox snapped his head around, realizing Moon had asked a question. Why? Running away from the government or something? Ha! Hilarious. But no. Earth recommended that I take Lunar and Sun on a vacation of some sort so they can de-stress. We haven't decided where to go yet. Yeah, I can handle it. Just go. He dismissed him quickly, just more things to add on to his mind. Moon observed him for a moment, acknowledging he wanted to be left alone and left with the others. With him just by himself in the daycare, it felt sickening a bit. A big open place that's supposed to be full of people, and a stupidly annoying theme song, but is not simply empty and lifeless, felt wrong. It's uncomfortable. He needs to keep his mind off being alone for a while. It's only 2 days. He can handle it. Maybe he should feel something to distract it. It's been a while since he made anything non-destructive, which was Lunar. Okay, no more thinking about them. He thought walking over to the security desk and attempting to find things to drown himself with work, even if that wouldn't last long. A while after, he got bored tinkering with whatever Moon had left lying around and got up to see if there was anything on the computer to do, only to hear struggle grunts from somewhere behind the play structure. I swear to God, if some damn adult is back there, I'm killing them. He drops his invention onto the table, storming over to where the sound was coming from, and turned the corner from the person, only to find him. What the hell are you doing here? He questioned, baffled that he was here, hunched over in pain, gripping onto the structure like he was on life support. The question made the figure swiftly swing his head over to him, causing him to wince with pain, rays going on face. Where is he? The figure in front of him puffed low, letting go once he established his footing. Who? Moon, where is he? He's not here. He would say his name, but it felt off calling his own name, even if that's him. Did they seriously not tell you who I am? The orange spot in front of him glared closely. Equinox paused for a minute. This is a perfect opportunity to get close to him. Deep down, he smoked cynically. If his plan worked, he could finish his message. Hopefully, he can exploit the situation. They told me that we were not good. A lie, not the truth, but it's not a lie either. He can see the animatronic was deciding if he wanted to trust him or not. Cut the crap. You know a lot more than you say you do. Well, that didn't last as long as he was hoping. Sure, you can still salvage this. Fine, you got me. But what exactly are you going to do about it? It's not like they trust us. His tone shifted, sounding a lot similar to his original voice as he glared down at the figure. You're me, aren't you? A damn wolf in sheep's clothing. The only you could be is the original, right? And what's it to you? We manipulate others. Your point is... Oh, wait. Is this Eclipse and Equinox? I did not realize this until I heard that. I thought it was lunar or some sort. I don't know. The only one you could be is the original, right? And what's it to you? We manipulate others. Your point is? The tension between the two lightening up a bit as Eclipse chuckled in contentment, though clearly in pain by the grimace written on his face. Fine. I'll leave them alone for now. This is going to be entertaining. I'll be watching from a distance. Equinox is sure that it's just a sorry excuse to not be here any longer after getting the information about the people he was looking for was not even here. Seeing him stumble in place slightly before he fell a bit sideways, vanishing, leaving small sparkles falling onto the floor. He left like how a mob died in Minecraft. Sniggering as he swiped one of his legs at the direction of the sparkles, making them disappear like he's collecting EXP. Yep. As the glimmer simmered down, that's a good one. As the glimmer simmered down, loud childish screeches came from the ball pit as he peeked his head out, armed that there were multiple kids running around the daycare. Hardly he checked the time, realizing his dumbass wasted so much time not being prepared and bolting over to the crowd of children, totally prepared to entertain them. That's nice. Can I have... Thank you. I'm back. Let's get started. And not gonna go into detail on what the kid looks like, since it's your imagination on what they look like. Nice. Just want to say this is the first time Equinox is running daycare by himself since back during October. Lunar was doing most of the daycare work than Equinox. I don't get paid enough for this. Oh, it's sorry. Chapter 11. I don't get paid enough for this. You don't even get paid at all. Ryan, going in timeout. You can't hit Skylar with your plushie. Equinox muttered, picking the small boy with both arms, dragging both of them over to the empty seat of shame in the far corner. She started it. She has to block at me. The kid flayed around, tossing a fit before getting plopped onto one of the barrels. Right, but that doesn't mean you retaliate by throwing a bigger object at her, even if that's funny. He crouched down close to the kid's height. What's retaliate? Sorry. What's retaliate? He said once realizing talking to a child, they wouldn't even know what that word even means. Retaliate, it means to hurt someone back because that person has done to you. Oh, you need to apologize to her later, got it? He flicked the kid's nose, getting a squeak. Wouldn't want someone to be angry at you when he comes back. But the boy paused as multiple kids shrieked as they ran by, causing Equinox to snap toward one of the direction. One of the kids ran up to him, jumping down, up and down, holding a purple glitter bottle. Mr. Equa, my friend tells me that Mr. Sun drinks glitter glue all the time. Can you tell me what it tastes? The kid hopped in place multiple times, awaiting his answer. I'm nuts. He gets under as the kid changed his mind and running off. Never mind, I'll try it myself. Wait, no, get back here. Panic was seeping in as he chased after the kid, having to leave Brian by himself for his time out. But he left the seat once Equinox left. Running after a child while also dodging multiple kids was difficult considering some were running around. He honestly surprised he hadn't tramped on any of the oversized rats yet. Watching as the kid climbed up the slide, which was clearly against the rules, but managed to successfully get away from since the little cockroach scurried up it with ease. Glaring at the play structure as the kid popped their heads out, letting down and sticking their tongue out monically. Little brat. The kid held out the color bottle, opening it so slowly, emphasized they were going to do it with the intention. Only for the kid to scream in horror when Equinox easily jumped all the way to the top, latching onto the side of the structure, staring at them with such intensity. It wobbled by the sudden weight as he jumped the bottle out of the small hand before dropping down gracefully without a problem like a cat. He walks off calmly, disregarding any of the shock reaction from the kids, watching and focusing on placing the bottle down gently. A small tug came from his pants, turning around, seeing the same girl from when he first started working here. The girl twisted the end soft her hair, looking nervous. Oh, that's cute. Anyways, sorry about that. Equinox, Brian was hiding in the ball pit and saw you jump. Now there's something brown in there and smells funny. Okay, where was I at? No. You're joking, right? Equinox's face slowly turned to anguish as the girl shook her head, the faded dread of having to clean the biohazard. The worst day for that to happen when he's by himself. Thank you. Come back again. Come back soon and have a faz-horrific day. Whatever, Scott Metal. I'm never coming here again. Let's go, hon. Get away from the toaster. The child quickly obeyed, looking ready to fake cry, snuffling non-existent snot up. Equinox slammed the door shut once Luna left with her baby, which in reality was like a hellspawn. Hope you get hit by a car. He scoffed, turning his head in a 180-degree, taking in the scene of the daycare. I'm going to string a moon. How am I going to clean this? Staring at the giant place, multiple crayons, scissors, and paper scraps littered the ground, while multiple mysterious stains covered the walls, almost reaching to his height. Not sure how a kid did that since most of them were like less than 4 feet. How the hell does Sun deal with this every day? Hey, we're back. How was the kids? Hope they weren't too bad. Moon busted down the giant door, strolling in only to trip on something on the floor as he falls down on top of it. His siblings soon filed in before pausing, seeing Moon lying flat on the floor with his kneecap and Equinox back. As the figure below him had his face... Oh, now I realize what that means. Okay. His face smushed into the batted floor and looking rather dead. Never expected Moon to be a topper. Sun chuckled, his little brother beside him choking at the response, turning away to not start bursting out laughing. Shut up. One of the figures on the floor mumbled out. I'm going to head over to Earth Room. I forgot to ask her something. Ask her about something. Jesus Christ. Lunar chirped out, running to his destination. Moon grunted as he started picking himself up, only for Equinox to grab his arm, forcibly pulling both of them up, although Moon tangled her feet off the ground. You couldn't have told me beforehand. The kids are absolutely wild. Hey, why are you yelling at me? You up Sun and Lunar for a while. You should know they're this chaotic. A little warning still would have helped. Okay. Both of you, please calm down. But put Moon down, please. We're back now. And you look like you handled everything well. Since the daycare is still standing, Sun attempts to disarm the situation before it escalated. It could sneered at Moon before dropping him onto the floor. I'll be back later. He retorted, marching past the two and outdoors. Moon shuffled over next to him, both watching as the figure departed. Son, I think it's about time we need to talk. Where was I? Moon shuffled over next to him, both watching as the figure departed. Son, I think it's about time we need to talk. About what? He stiffened, suddenly responding, sounding panicked. Equinox, I think we need to keep an eye on him. Wait, what? Why didn't you say anything? I didn't say anything because I don't want you worrying if it's another thing we already have. Eclipse and that stupid thing. He paused for a moment. Sun waited for him to continue, giving a small gesture of encouragement. He's been here for a while now. He's acting more like Eclipse, just more passive. You're going to need to elaborate what you mean by passive, unless you're trying to say that Equinox is acting similar to how you were before you lost your memories. God dang. That was not what I was going to say, but that's a good observation. Never mind. Don't worry about what I said. Just tell me if he does something off. Sun stared at his brother as he shook his head, frustrated at the sight, and leaves the daycare, either to follow him or head back to their shared room. The corner of his mouth quivered as he tried shaking the negative thoughts in his head. He knows he shouldn't be thinking like this. He isn't the same as before, but his judgment clouded his mind as he knows it's unreal. Moon doesn't trust him, just like his past self. As the little sun man scared his brother would return. A gruff voice spoke directly behind him, almost tauntingly. Nope, not dealing with that thing. Find something to do. He's a bit eerie and decided his tail is accessible. That's nice. Chapter 12. AN. I think I went a little overboard with the description, so this was fun to type. I'm on a spree. This is like the longest chapter I wrote for this FF fanfiction so far. More than 2,000 words. Nice. Usually it's 1,000 per chapter, but hey, more for you guys to feast on, I guess. Have fun eating this up. Chapter idea by Resnivity AO3. Lunar crying, soft blanket burrito with a spigot tucked in. Chapter idea by Angela1066 AO3. I wonder if Equinox would get a toy for Lunar to go with spigot. Chapter 12, blanket burrito therapy. Nice. I have to read this fast because for some reason this thing gets to like what's the word? Stop recording for some reason. I don't know why. Bright neon lights lit up the surrounding darkness as he strolled across the black and white tiled floor, repeating daycare music chimed in the distance, allowing a footsteps reduced with each step he took. The figure in question didn't have a specific destination. They were heading, just simply drifting towards wherever his legs decided to take him. Originally, he had planned to leave the daycare section of the plex and head over to the auditorium, but there wasn't anything for him to do. So Equinox went back and is now walking around in the gift shop. Rose, the Sun and Moon plushie sat on top of shelves, untouched for a couple of years, based on the slight dust resting on top of them. They plucked one of the Sun plush, pattering the dust away to see the face clearer. The student smile beamed up at him, forever stuck in that position. Bending the raise slightly, he raises his head back to the empty spot where the plush had been residing in. Trying to put it back, only to see a small silhouette poking in the very far back. Curious got the best of him as he glanced around the gift shop for any customers nearby, only to mentally facepalm when he forgot it had been closed for a long time. Reaching his hand onto the hole carefully as to not actually knock down the plushie beside him, he patted the metal shelf and searched for it, but can't find it as he pulled his hand back out, looking onto it again before attempting again. Still failing to get whatever it is back there and getting frustrated. Screw it. He scowled in annoyance, shoving the stuffed figures out of the way. Some fell onto the floor, giving a small squeak on his back. The opening had finally revealed what was in it at the very back as light had been shed onto it. A small white fox plush. You could see multiple smaller rips in the poor thing as he gently picked it up and handled it. It's cute looking. He stood there turning the furry blush around, taking in every detail, swatting at some dust covering the beady eyes. Something Luna would like, although. He paused for a moment, staring at the battered state of it. It has a lot of rips. Maybe Earth knows how to sew. Stuffing the plush into his pocket, he quickly strode out of the gift shop, not hoping to find Earth for assistance. Earth, are you here? In here? Calling out to her as he walks into the room, turning a corner, and he sees Earth picking a triangle foam block, stacking it nicely with the other sheets. Swirling around, she faces him, cloud-like hair floats up behind her. Hello, Equinox. She replied with enthusiasm, waving at the figure in front of her. What brings you here? Did you need something? Just wanted to ask if you know how to sew. I need to patch something up. Here, cautionally, he walked up to her, praying for the laugh like he would get for how stupid his quest was. Oh, of course. I can help with that. Was there a rip in your pants? The kindness that radiated off that response had not been what he had been expecting when he asked for help. No, it's this. Pulling out the mango fox out of his pocket, presenting it, would sound absolutely horrible if there was no context to it being a plush. Let me get a closer look. Scooping the toy out of his hand, she lightly held onto the fabric, pulling it, exposing the open seams. This isn't East Vix. Do you want to learn how to sew, or do you want me to do it? The question lingered for a moment as Equinox debated over if this would be a good waste of time. Sure, why not? I don't have anything to do. Wonderful. Come sit down. You can choose what thread to use. I have a variety. She soon walks off with the fox in hand as Equinox trailed behind her quietly. Nice job. You did it. That wasn't so hard, was it? Clapping and congratulations, she gives the blush back to him, once giving it a quick look over. That was pretty simple. Thanks. He muttered out sheepishly, raising a hand to ruffle the side of his hair, staring down at his work. It's no problem at all. Did you need anything else, or is that it? Do you know where Luna is? And if so, do you have a spare blanket? Luna? They said they were heading to the daycare for some reason. Not sure what they are doing there. Getting up, she walks over to the side where piles of pillows and other stuff that are stacked from against digging through it. Is there a reason you're trying to find them? After finding clean blankets, she walked over to him, offering it for him to take. Not really, just wanting to hang out. He responds, grabbing onto the folded blanket, only to almost drop it immediately once realizing it's a weighted blanket as he gets up. Tried to be a decent. He cuts himself off, realizing what he was about to say. Person, at least. Person? You mean person, correct? She tilted her head, looking at him. Yeah, words, you know. If he hadn't been a human, he would be sweating up a storm as of right now. But the amount of close calls he keeps getting himself into. For some reason, he's not sure how he's even lasting this long. Well, that's all you need, correct? Equinox nodded quickly. Alright, have fun with Luna. She walked off, picking back up where she left off. White pupil followed her around as she did her chores absent-mindedly. Breaking contact, he gazed at the items in his hand, weighted blanket being held by the lower pair while the top pair occupied the beady-eyed plush. The weight from the blanket definitely felt unbelievable heavy, since he was using the pair of arms that he barely used at all. Yes, that's his fault for not taking the time to learn how to use them properly. Now they felt like noodles. Wait. Oh yeah, this makes sense. Okay, I was confused for a minute, so I had to rewrite that. Dropping the blanket onto the floor, he starts pulling things out of the pocket, hoping to get rid of stuff to make room for the toy. As he's pulling things out, he felt this familiar sticky note that he left untouched for a while now. As he stared at it, reading on the things he wrote to himself, chuckling, he questioned why he even wrote down what he was planning, since it was only 3 things. With that, he pulled the page off, crumbling it into the ball and throw away later. Shoving everything back into his pants, he cleaned the fox. He gathered the abandoned blanket with his dominant hands and placed the ballad of paper in the inferior hand, leaving Earth rooms with goodbye. Holding a giant blanket in front of him blocked his view, but luckily he managed to squeeze past any obstacle that had gotten in the way. Jesus Christ, can't speak. Although he did almost trip on nothing, thankfully he managed to catch himself with his hands, even now he's carrying something. Sorry, I had the itch on my face. Something, although it was a struggle, holding both the weight of himself and the blanket he was lugging around.
Oh goodness, are you alright? Are you hurt? Oh, I'm so worried.
Oops. I keep on getting distracted by the movie. Dang it. Place a ballad of paper and the fury hand, leaving Earth room this was goodbye, holding a giant blanket in front of him. And he felt it. Close to any obstacle that had get in the way, although he did almost trip it on nothing. Thankfully, he managed to catch himself with his hands, even though he's carrying something. Although it was a struggle holding both the weight of himself and the blanket he was lugging around. He hopped in a relief, pushing himself back onto his feet as he continued his walk to the dealer, watching slowly as the roll-up door slowly rise up, really slow. It stopped for a moment before stirring back up again. The Equinox ultimately gave up on the thing and forced to open like he's opening somebody's mouth, producing a piercing screech out into it open. Immediately opening, he could hear faint stops echoing from inside as concern rose, concluding it had to have been his brother. Rushing inside as quietly as possible, inspecting the area, trying to trace where the weeps were coming from. As he glanced around, he locked onto an area in the far and back of the corner where a giant box shielded a corner where the wind was coming from. "Lunar, I know you're back there." He called out slowly, making his way over to the corner. As he stepped closer, he could hear a sharp intake appear as Cried halted, almost as if hoping the other would notice him. Once Equinox got close enough where he could easily turn the corner, he grabbed onto the edge of the box before hearing heavy breathing. Confusion sets in as he peeks from the corner. Lunar was pressing against the wall, a hand to his chest, panicking fast along with staring at him with pinpricked eyes, genuinely terrified. "Go away, Eclipse! Leave me alone! I don't want to die again!" Sobbing to himself as he prepared to find an opening only to find a corner. He quickly shut his eyes as he tugged his nightcap down over his eyes, breaking down even more, ready for death to take him once again. Eclipse. Wait, it's just me! It's just Equinox! Eclipse isn't here. Hurriedly, he steps out, revealing himself fully as he crouched down, attempting to make himself less extreme to look at. Equinox? Lightening his grip on his hat, he glanced up, slightly seeing the figure kneeling a couple feet away. From him seeing him nodded the question. "I'm not saying that." The reply was not what Eclipse was expecting, the first words to be as he stared at the smaller box. "God, you had me thinking he was here. My bad." He suddenly responded, standing back up. Once Lunar seemed better for the most part, Do you want to talk about it? He murmured. Lunar pushed past him before blocking down the phone block since there weren't any actual chairs. What? The fact you scared the living hell out of me, or the part where I have trauma? The smaller animatronic snarked, rolling his head behind and looking upside down. Anything you're comfortable with sharing? I know I'm not exactly a good person to talk to about this, considering... He shuffled over before sitting next to his brother on the left. Trauma? Yeah, it's fine. Earth told me talking with you would be similar to exposure therapy, since they talk about how you were similar, but I didn't want to listen. Just looking at anything close to it just brings back bad memories. Lunar muttered dejectedly, staring down at the floor, clear in thoughts as his legs swung back and forth. It doesn't help that he's still out there, especially that. Knowing he's still out there somewhere, I thought he found me just to kill me again. But it turns out it was you. I'm not sure what reason it would be to kill you since you're the only one who died. But I really thought he would have went for Blood Moon instead. He mumbled, hand to his chin. Blood Moon's dead. What? He's dead. Sun killed him. Sun killed him? Yep. Then he tried killing Eclipse. Equinox tried imagining the innocent, naive sun murdering people, but it doesn't seem fit right now. Either way, Eclipse is still alive and probably planning on killing me again. If he sees me. That's why I'm hiding. Try not to worry too much. We're trying to figure out how to get rid of him for good. I know it's... where was I? Yeah. I know it's not much reassurance, but he'll be gone soon, hopefully. Lunar questioning, turning towards him like he grew another head. I mean, Sun and Moon. I'm only helping out if they need to go run errands. Right. Gosh. That crying has seriously drained my battery. Rubbing his eyes sleepily, a failed trial of wiping the tiredness from his eyes as something soft gets pressed against his chest. Turning to left, he stares, seeing a light box offered him by the person beside him. As said figure was looking ahead, not daring to make eye contact with the hand to his mouth, covering it as almost as if they were embarrassed. Are you giving this to me? What else would I be doing? Lunar gasped in surprise as he reached up to grab it before clenching it close, staring at it in wonder. Thank you. Oh gosh, he looks so cute. I mean, I'll name you Floof. Yeah, Spigot and Floof. Spigot? A reindeer Sun gave me for Christmas. Oh, they'll fit right with Spigot. You can do that later. First, you need the charge. Equinox stared, unfolding the blanket as he picked up Lunar, wrapping him up in a burrito kid blanket. Hey, what? Equinox, let me out! I'm not a kid! The struggle continues as he tries finding his way out. It's comfortable, isn't it? Yeah, it is, but I'm not staying here by myself. Drag Sun and Moon in as well. To the sleepover. Make them suffer. The demonic being cackles at the thought of forcing his brothers into a sleepover. I think I did that enough. But sure, let's go get them. Walking out with Lunar in hand, Equinox chuckled at his brother wanting to make the two suffer. Brings back memories of them causing them to suffer, even though it's different this time. Just like old times, him and his brother, even if he can't truly tell him who he really is, he'll just relish the small moments he has together until he finds out. Then, he'll just go back to hiding from him. He stepped around in the dark with the only light source being Prayer as the thought ran through his mind. Wait, where the hell is the sticky note? He was supposed to throw it away. Aww. It's so cute! You did so well giving this Lisa! Hopefully she's watching these videos. Bye everybody! Thanks for watching!